Let me ask you a question.
No, I don't want to and you can't make me.
Who do you know who isn't saved?
Ah, the age-old question of how do I convince my aunt that she actually needs to click save on the Word document before violently ripping out the power cord of her PC and tossing it into the rain because she doesn't know how to change the font size, then calming down, bringing the computer back inside and being confused as to why her thesis on why her nephew is a giant waste of space isn't still there. I mean, I would try to convince her, but I don't want to get up and she hasn't fed me yet.
Your sister? Your brother? Your mom? Your dad? A good friend? Your child?
Your dog, your mailman, your parole officer, that guy who avoids you because you keep asking everyone you ever interact with if they and everyone they have ever met has been saved.
Now think of their terrible fate if they die.
I know, right? Gonna be the best day ever.
Without Christ.
Wait, Christ doesn't die in that situation? Well, I'm not on board then. I want everyone I know personally dead. That includes you, Keith. Imagine being called Keith.
Now I'm sure you want to share your faith, but maybe you're not sure what to say, or maybe you're afraid.
You know, a lot of people get really peed off with me when I do too many breaks in a video. But come on, every single word he says is a hoot. And I got like 10 jokes for each of them. I'm just saying that, because, man, seriously, look.
Now, I'm sure you want to share your faith, but...
No, I don't. You can't have it. It's mine.
Maybe you're not sure what to say.
Hey, clearly you don't know what to say, but you still do. Proving even the most mentally challenged people can succeed. Usually in politics. Biting satire, and no matter who you are, you'll think I'm talking about the guys you don't like. Genius.
Or maybe you're afraid.
I am afraid. I'm afraid I'm just too handsome, famous and good at the sex. Buy the goddamn shirt!
That's what this program is all about. We want to teach you how to share your faith simply, effectively, the way Jesus did.
So, you want me to be followed around by 12 dudes, get harassed by Romans and strung up for being too cool for school? Or something like that. Well, I'm already part of the way there.
To overcome your fear and give you tools so that when you share your faith, you'll know where you're going and know exactly what to say.
And most importantly, not to listen to any of those arguments made against your position. The more convincing they are, the harder you need to shout, la 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 la, I can't hear you. Oh my god, it's so 90s. I kinda love it.
So use the law, use your testament, reach out to the lost, reach out to the lost.
Okay, that's enough of that. Let's continue, shall we?
My next question would be, or my next concern would be, whether you believe in God or not.
Yeah.
And the fact that someone tells me he's there, and I can't see him, can't smell him, can't touch him, can't feel him ever. I mean, how are you supposed to believe that and base your life around that if you don't have that belief?
It's almost like doing that is kind of silly. But what do I know? I worship a giant picture of John Romero, although at least he's real and sacrificed his own son, Ion Storm, to give us the greatest game ever, Daikatana. Wait a second, this game sucks! Why did he do this? Pfft, not my god anymore.
Today's program's on the subject of atheism.
Oh hey, it's the banana guy. And wait just a sec, I gotta find something from my childhood.
Banana Man, ever alert for the call to action.
I can't possibly be the only person who's made that connection, but really, any excuse to bring up one of the simultaneously dumbest and most brilliant shows ever. Seriously, it's actually amazing. You should watch it.
Now, if you get a dictionary and look up the word atheism, you'll find it says it's the belief that there's no God.
Really? Do we have to do this again? Which dictionary? I'm sure that some will, but the most common definition is someone who lacks belief. Not a person who asserts something about reality a la, there is definitely not a God, but someone who doesn't buy the claim for whatever reason. And before Senor Damas brings up, no, that's agnostic, for the 80 billionth time, having no idea what that term means, No, they are both atheist. Neither's a theist. I mean, they are both atheist, but they aren't atheist. Jesus, that's needlessly confusing.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Well, I forgive you, Jesus. One of us has to be the better man, and, well, obviously it's me.
According to TV Guide a number of years ago, 96% of Americans actually believe in God's existence, which means there's 4% that don't.
TV Guide? I'm sorry, I've never heard of that particular academic journal. That's funny, because in 20 years there's going to be like 12 people who even remember actual TV. And speaking of 20 years, this video has got to be at least that old. That means there should now be approximately 5 religious people left in the US, give or take.
Which equates to something like 10 million atheists in the United States.
Imagine that. 10 million people who hate God. For shame. What? Didn't you hear the definition? It was definitely atheist. Someone who believes God is real but hates him and really, really wants to go to hell, which they also know exists, and also, God made them that way, so who are we to meddle, really, when you think about it? I mean, do you want to go against God's wishes? Have you met God? The guy's a total D-bag who has people killed for really petty stuff, and you want to disobey him? Sod that! I'm just going to go get drunk. Well, don't believe me, it's written right here, man, right next to the new definition of gullible.
Didn't you used to be an atheist?
Yeah, I did. I used to be a devout atheist.
Devout in non-belief? That makes very little sense. Are you talking about the kind of atheist that just talks your ear off at the slightest mention of religion? The kind that gives the rest of us a bad name and that for some reason everyone thinks of when anybody even speaks about being an atheist. So basically, you went from being the most annoying kind of atheist to the most annoying type of Christian. Well done.
And that sounds a little strange, but I was committed to my belief that God didn't exist.
Oh, so you're a Gnostic atheist. What's that? There's a term for the kind of atheist who specifically believes God is definitely not real. Next, you're going to tell me that someone who says they don't know is an agnostic atheist. Wait, that's true? Mind blown. I didn't know words had meanings other than the dumb ones that idiots use without ever bothering to look into them and arguing with Sir Sick about them when I don't know what I'm talking about. No, I'm not bitter.
And this really wasn't based on anything other than what I had learned in school. I thought that evolution was responsible for everything that's around and that God was something that people just invented in their minds as an emotional crutch or as some sort of an answer to the questions that they couldn't figure out themselves.
Wait, that's not nothing at all. You thought God didn't exist because God doesn't need to exist. That's exactly the opposite of no reason, and is why a lot of people fail to believe your current claims. And this might pop your socks off. That idea still doesn't discount the idea of God, merely doesn't have it as a requirement for reality to be.
And I've since learned that when you really look at the evidence...
Oh, this is going to be good, isn't it?
The truth is, it takes more faith to be an atheist than it does to believe in God. You've really got to ignore the facts.
Big oof. So if I ignore the fact that God isn't required for anything we see around us, and I ignore that there's no evidence whatsoever for God, or at least a godlike creature, then I'm definitely going to believe there is no way that atheism is a logical way to think. Wait, that's not what's supposed to happen. You were wrong. I'm so surprised.
It's funny how we equate the word atheism with intellectual.
You might think that, but all I associate the word with is people that don't believe the claim of God existing. And more than that, you know that there are plenty of spiritual people who don't believe in God? And a lot of them, they think you can cure, well, anything by chucking shiny pebbles at people. Yeah, intellectual is far from a given.
When it's the exact opposite.
That's right.
You two, of course, being the pinnacle of intellectual honesty and rigor of all time. But I'll give you that. I think everyone is stupid in one way or another. And that's what really brings us all together. We should revel in our collective stupidity by liking this video and commenting, "Me am the stupid" below. Come on. You know you want to. And if you're actually a clever boy, then do it sarcastically. As Oscar Pistorius famously said, smarting am the bestest form of doing a braining.
Kirk, I have an intellectually stimulating theory.
Okay, Ray, go on. What's your intellectually stimulating theory? I genuinely can't wait. In fact, I'm not going to script this. I'm going to watch this little bit and give you my genuine live reaction. I am excited.
It's my theory of where the soda can may have come from.
Oh my God. Oh, that's even better than I thought it was gonna be. Oh, where do cans come from? Space, probably.
Billions of years ago, there was a Big Bang in space. Nobody knows what caused the Big Bang. It just happened.
Oh, that is fun, because I believe we are getting pretty close to figuring that little detail out. I do wonder what mental gymnastics you're going to do once it is figured out. I guess it's, well, what started the thing before that? That kind of thinking can just go on forever, really.
And from this bang issued this huge rock. On top of the rock was found a sweet, brown, bubbly substance. And over millions of years, aluminum crept up the side, formed itself in a can.
Oh my God, you're trying to disprove evolution, aren't you? Oh dear. It's actually really fun to listen to you smugly pontificate about what you think evolution is. I'm gonna let you finish proving just how goddamn dumb you really are. Man, seriously, if I, a humble idiot, can understand the basics of this topic, it blows my mind just what intellectual level you must be working under. And somehow still be able to sit up straight without toppling out of your chair. Wow.
Then a lid, and then a tab. And then millions of years later, red paint, blue paint, white paint fell from the sky and formed itself into the words, 12 fluid ounces. Do not litter.
Right. You know that absolutely could have happened. I mean, not in that fashion you are saying, because that's how biblical descriptions of creation happen. And that's clearly the only way you understand it. But a can could conceivably form over time. But you're missing a key and extremely important ingredient. Forcing. The things wouldn't just form there for no reason. Other factors would come into play. Reasons for it to take that form. With animals, that would take the form of survival pressures like predators and the need to find food and of course reproduce, which is something that the can cannot do. So as an attempt to refute evolution, it really shows you don't have much in the way of intelligence, or as you might more readily understand, you are a big silly dum-dum.
You're saying, what are you doing? You're insulting my intellect.
Yes, Ray, I know. I'm doing it on purpose. Are you actually so silly that you think I don't know when I'm calling you a moron? Are you just that thick?
And so I am.
This is fun.
Because we know if the can is made, there must be a maker. If it's designed, there must be a designer.
We know it's made and we know it's designed because we did that. As a species, we very specifically made cans to be the way they are. And you know what? The design and the engineering of cans is actually really interesting. And I watched a 20-minute video on how they are made. And oh my God, when did I become my dad?
To believe the soda can happened by chance is to move into an intellectual free zone.
Yes, and to argue that anyone is saying that it did is to do the same. In fact, and here's what's really going to make your little brain bounce off the walls of your skull, nobody who understands evolution is going to say that things evolve by chance either. At least not in the way that you understand chance. Like, almost nothing happens as a freak occurrence, except maybe an infinite deity one day just getting up and saying, you know what? I'm going to do an Earth. If you believe that, then...
It's to have an echo when you think. It's to have brain liposuction.
Well, I wouldn't put it like that, but yeah.
Hold this, Kirk. Behold the atheist's nightmare.
Oh my God, I didn't know this was that video. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm so excited to... What? Out of time? It's been how long? And you're not real, just me pretending to have someone there to provide me with information for the sake of exposition? Well... On that note, I guess we are going to have to leave this here. But Ray, oh my, we are going to be back. You mark my words, I've never been more excited to do a follow-up video. And I haven't even finished this one. Well, I have in just about... Do you want pretty okay clothes at fairly alright prices? Then head on over to Sir Six Merch Store. There you can buy sick brand merch, and not a lot else. Who needs food, water, or accommodation when you can have a hoodie with my face on it? No one, that's who. I can't even afford them because I have a home, like a moron. So get on over today before these printed to order clothes run out somehow. And you're gonna need a lot of them when you're sleeping outside on the ground with your family like that. It's cold out there. I do envy you.